we were driving down a state highway, I think, a divided state highway. I want to say it was in New Jersey. I think it was a New Jersey trip. That's the best of my memory. And there was a turn coming up on the GPS, on the Garmin or whatever that we used in Bob's car. And we were going probably 60, 70. And this turn was coming up, and this guy was not slowing down for it. I was like, I was sitting in the back. Hey man, the turn's coming up. But it's a little too late. So what he does is unable to slow down and unable to process the fact at the time that he's actually should just skip this turn and slow down later and come back for it. What he does instead is still going like 60. He goes into the turn lane across this divided highway and just cuts straight across the divided highway of oncoming traffic. He just cuts straight across it. And I just remember thinking, I don't believe this is happening. It's just unbelievable. Now, and there's nowhere to go when he crosses it. And he's not like a stunt driver, kind of a guy. He's not a hot rodder kind of a guy at all. You would never expect this of this guy. So he's not like trying to handbrake it and 180 or do something really insane. He's just got freaked out. And so he cuts right across this divided highway. There's not too many cars coming. No one hits us. I don't think anyone even has to slam on the brakes, but I'm sure that a number of those drivers were like, what in the world is happening? And then he pulls into this little, those little driveways that you see. They don't really go anywhere, or maybe it led to a gate or something. He just pulls in and stops, and we're all just sitting there. Bob, are you okay? Bob's just like,
oh man,
yeah. Bob doesn't have any reaction. I don't have an angry reaction. I don't know that I had I tried to.
You don't have time to be angry in situations like that.
You don't.
But you think, you're making me think of all kinds of times I've been in the car with Bob and idiots behind the wheel.
Well, my name is David Brunel, and I first met Bob when we were students at Indiana University, and back in the 1970s. And I became aware that Bob had a roommate, I think David Wegener, in the dorm, but that Bob wanted to move to a house and was going to need people to live with him.
When I was a caretaker there in 2002, I was reflecting on a scripture passage from Genesis 10, which is about Noah's sons and grandsons, who were called Japhethites, Hamites, Semites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, and the list goes on and on. I thought to myself, we really are a family at Bob's house. And I mentioned in passing that we, his caretakers, were Bobites. Apparently, the term stuck for a couple of decades.
I think generally, like when someone's talking to someone in a wheelchair, they tend to raise their voice. It's just a natural thing that we do a lot of times. And I was trying to be very sensitive to that with Bob. So like I would try to lower myself when I was talking to him, because I knew that his eyesight, like where he could look, was limited with his neck and stuff. So I tried to just basically accommodate him as well as I could in terms of communicating. And I would just, the other thing about it was I tried to embrace the frustration, and just accept that there are going to be problems with communication.